I know we've been having a Kryptonian montage lately. Well, let's continue it for quite a bit more before I take a little break off of it. Superboy, also known as Kon-El. He's kind of similar to other Kryptonian level beings, very powerful, durable, bulletproof, stuff like that, and even more. But thank you all that have donated to the channel. Really appreciate it a lot. He's also known as Connor Kent. His weakness is kryptonite, red solar radiation, and stuff like that. The standard Kryptonian stuff. He is an actual clone of Superman and Lex Luthor made after Superman's death and stuff. He briefly served as Superman for a little while before moving to this area known as Hawaii and stuff. While his powers were originally solely derived from his tactical telekinesis, he currently has some Kryptonian powers as well. Stuff like that. At different evolutions over the years. Stuff like that. When I say evolutions, I mean a lot of different evolutions. This is just a couple of his many different adventures. He briefly lost his power. This one back in the day, he had access to tactical telekinesis, his death at Superboy Prime, after his resurrection, extra stuff when he became an adult, when he became a clone, became a Black Lantern, after he was spent years trapped in the gem world, supposedly increased in power. It's just a lot of different stuff throughout the years, but let's get right into it. I love how they organize the different characters' history in recent comics, kind of gives you an overview on why he's dressed different and the different evolutions, you know, just the different eras and stuff, you know? You can get some extra lore right here on his early days. Like I literally said, he's a creation of Project Cadmus. Superboy is a near identical clone of Superman, has a lot of the same strengths and weaknesses and stuff. Like literally the ultimate history up. Cloned, Boy of Steel, fighting King Shark right there. Different outfit with the black shirt. As you see right here, he was one of the people that fought Superboy Prime. It's just a nice overview of all his stuff, relationship, Lex's legacy. It's just a lot of different things. Interacting with Mixie. Hey, Supergirl, I love the outfit for Supergirl. More lore or research about Superboy, about his powers and abilities. They said, we obtained Superman's body, but the usual cloning technologies were useless on his alien physiology. They go as far as telling about his strange aura that surrounded Superman's body. They translated that aura into a telekinetic field. That's how you can fly or deflect any solid object in the instant it touches you. You can deflect energy like, say, fire or laser, stuff like that. And he can do other things like grabbing his robe, as you can see with the shape of the robe. You can extend the field and lift heavy objects, take things apart, bend things into shape you picture mentally. 3 guesses what's on his mind, females. Ha! Love how they can go into detail lifting his massive boulders in this occasion, strength feat by the way. They couldn't duplicate him completely, so they had to simulate what powers they could with a telekinetic field. The kid calls it tactical telekinesis. It's what gives him his super strength and his ability to fly. He's even learned to project his telekinesis field into a kind of force wave, like force push one can say. Plus the force wave makes his body practically invulnerable. Complications with his powers making him incapable of aging. Literally, obviously that kryptonite weakens him or hurts him really badly, obviously in these many adventures. He has little fun little strength feats like lifting his super yacht, catching this falling bus, helps stop this landing airplane because he's strong, lifts a car while underwater, catches a falling car, lifts a helicopter, lifts this car here. This is light work to him. He helped pre-crisis Superboy lift a decently sized airplane, of course. Look at the little poster, welcome to Smallville, home of Superboy. He's strong enough to redirect very large missiles that are way bigger than him for Pete's sake. Moves the small train for Pete's sake. That's epic. Another occasion of him lifting a car with people in it. Stops a speeding car in this particular occasion, saving a young lady. I find it interesting that he saved this girl. He just happens to have his hand on her cheeks. Might I add that he can rip the car door open too? He lifts a rowboat with a single finger. I mean, you just know it's nothing to him. This occasion was steel, using tactical telekinesis, stopping in this, slowing it down, showing raw power still. Lifts this huge building. Yeah, look how big it is. Holds up this falling wall. Lifts this large tanker truck, medium-sized boat he just pulls, holds up part of the roof of a building because of power, lifts a big chunk of the street. Yep, just raw strength. He can lift hundreds of tons easily. Clings to this large rocket in flight because of his strength. Literally lift up whales because of raw power. Lifts this large robot. Brimstone, get out of my way. Can lift 2 elephants. Lifts all of this. Flings a G. Site throws a car at Parasite. Large tree gets slung. Big old chunks of road. He just tossed them like nothing. It's another large villain that he has. He just slings him, throws the giant boulder really far, throws a giant dragon, swinging it like that fast through part of a roof. He literally catches cars like a softball and throws it back. When it comes to punching power, he has slugged it out with Supergirl before, like even punching her back. In this particular occasion, for example, he's even punched characters like the Ray back before. When rocks get thrown at him in battle feats, he just says, I'm strong enough to punch through the rock, and rips the door open, stuff like that. No matter how big the rock is, just shattered. Very large stones get shattered, like just too much raw power. Even if you big, get tossed to the side. Big monsters get slammed, even if the size is big different. Just accidentally destroying Pizza of the road with his punching power. Metal doors. Yeah, your punch ain't doing nothing to me, buddy. Cars ain't nothing to me. Just because you throw it on me don't mean that it's going to hurt me. Submarines that are super durable. You can punch holes through them. Look at all that weight. Multiple brick walls get tossed too. Get back in your car after punching me in a battle feat, tossing you back and smiling in the process. Telephone pole. Look at the poles he can just use and shatter them with his combat. To really get an idea of his power, he's actually slugged it out with some Justice League type characters like Aquaman, for example, even implied to be kind of way physically stronger than Aquaman. That's saying a lot. And the fact that his punches can affect characters like Despero, being that be like team busting, showing that he isn't that far off from Superman tier characters, even if I would say he's a little bit below. I mean, just little occasions like this that looks cool. Big old monsters getting slammed through the roof. Multiple occasions of stuff like this, big old creatures get slammed, consistently slams old craters in the ground from their impact. Metal is literally nothing, just flying through it consistently. He can collapse wooden buildings, break out of these restraints, for example, ripping through a titanium clamp, breaks out of metal tentacles in this occasion, snaps off the pipe of a car during the fight with Parasite I showed a little bit ago. More tearing through inanimate objects like this door, ripping cars apart ain't nothing to him, like the top of them off, they're done. Tears a buried vehicle out, can literally rip trees from their roots. Occasional Robin using kryptonite, of course. Can literally rip open a bank vault. He can bend guns, crush a gun, crush a revolver too. I love when superpowered people have fun with their super strength, like using metal to wrap foes up. Like, ain't that fun? Get pushed against concrete. Like, he literally tears a canal through the asphalt, wrapping metal around a foe. Now, isn't that fun? Accelerates the surfboard, right? To destroy a boat. Ain't that crazy? Like, what? Tied metal piping into a rope. Superboy's work. And yeah, he's gotten battle feats with Cyborg Superman, but he has gotten overpowered by Cyborg Superman though. He withstood gravity that was so powerful that was able to cave in the road, which is a lot of gravity. He's durable to the point where stuff like metal arms break against his body. Oh yeah, by the way, he can literally stand in lava. Of course, bullets do nothing. Nope. Automatic gunfire is a joke. Look at the shockwave he made with that punch, by the way. Why the heck would you use pistols on him? Just wasting your time at this point. Bullets bouncing off his head. Look at these little mini missiles. Those are cute. Even takes some titanium bullets. Still doesn't matter, even if it's titanium. Evidently, even knives failed to cut him. Even a van with literal spikes crashes into him. Still didn't really do nothing. This shark, powerful as King Shark is, it ain't gonna work. Not even a T-Rex bite is gonna work on it, buddy. They said no non-magical blade can cut him in the lore, as you see. I mean, look at all these darts that are hailed at him. Just eats all of that. He's interacted with other metas like Killer Frost in his OG days. She has enough power to create a blizzard in Hawaii during these encounters with Killer Frost. He won't die from being frozen solid. And of course, he can survive a whole bunch of electricity from a power line. He's resistant to poison toxins or gases, like eating this knockout gas, for example. His raw speed in general is too much for characters like Tim Drake. He's fast enough to outspeed bullets. In this occasion with tactical telekinesis, extending his order, making her bulletproof as well. He caught an arrow mid-flight, catches missiles like that. Not only can he react to bullets, but he can match the raw speed of bullets, whether it be reaction or just raw flight speed, or heck, even running speed in general with the super fam, you know. He can spin fast enough to create a cyclone. He seems to have speedster-ish type speed, like in this occasion matching impulse speed. You know, speedsters in DC are like millions or billions of times faster than light, easily trillions of times or quadrillions or quintillions of times faster than the speed of light. Flying that fast with impulse while he's running on water. I mean, he even flew from Hawaii to Gotham in this occasion with Metallo. His tactical telekinesis is a beast, like exploding this many guns by accident, literally dissecting every gun in Los Angeles. Indirectly dismantles this gun, tactical telekinesis, dismantles a gauntlet gun, dismantles this gun on this occasion, dismantles the new guy's weapon. He exploded these guns, like bruh, he just don't like guns. Takes apart this door, dismantles his restraint, dismantles these restraint. I mean, the guy even does it indirectly at times. Dismantled a huge Metallo battlefield, a person that be giving Superman issues even without kryptonite on occasions. Mechanical limbs. Giant robot, like look how big it is, gets dismantled, splitting the robots apart. With one could say blast power just by, you know, tactical telekinesis. He messed up like Disruptor because of these things, even messing up a TV. This tech that did some gravity enhancement type stuff, he messed up. Does this to a freaking bike. Even doing this to an engine that's about to hit him. Doing this to this hovercraft. You know what I mean? It literally states right here, this room was designed to keep a dozen Doomsdays from getting out. Like, he was able to break a door off the hinges that was able to supposedly hold Doomsday. You know what I mean? Oh, McIntyre. Showing that he's competent in them Superman ranges, messing up Cyborg Superman thanks to the robotic parts. Big old mechanized armor, get murked. Not even Steel is safe. Messed up part of his mech. dismantles this magical gauntlet. I'm telling you, this tactical telekinesis is handy. Like, it's literally on some almighty push stuff, guys. Like, creating a force wave, pushing Brainiac 5 off of him, pushing a group of DNA aliens off of him. Like, you see the omnidirectional blast power? I mean, he blasted so hard, he blasted him into space. Throws this girl off of him. Even destroyed Stone Lion, blasts a hole in Rushmore. Yikes. Launches Wonder Girl through the ceiling. Yeah, against those type of characters. It's not a good idea to put restraints on him because nope, he's getting them out. Did he just float a ton of debris, like some telekinesis stuff? What if I told you the majority of stuff I've shown you just now is him where he can't even really access his Kryptonian physiology like that? But later on in his career, he started evolving to the point where he could use some of his Kryptonian physiology, and that's when he can do the tactical telekinesis on top of other things. But it should be noted that he doesn't absorb solar energy as fast as Superman, though. And if he runs out of solar energy, it starts cannibalizing itself if he doesn't have solar energy in his body. So that's the bad caveat to that. But that's when, of course, when he started doing the Superman stuff like X-ray vision style, seeing through clothes and all the fun, cool stuff in the different outfits and awkwardness. Oh boy, hearing from a distance. I mean, he found Tim Drake by listening to every voice around in Gotham. I'm just saying. Can even hear Superman's ultrasonic whistle, for Pete's sake. And of course, he has the standard strength stuff like lifting a tractor. He threw this huge piece of concrete on this occasion. Yeah, obviously strong in characters like Deathstroke, like slammed him to the ground on this occasion. That part makes perfect sense, right? This large piece of metal in this battlefield with Kingdom Come Superman, of course. He's strong enough to fight beings like the Persuader, for example, breaking his armor, for example. He even battled Superboy Prime without getting one-shotted. Probably one of his greatest feats of all time, even though it's not super flashy. But as you all know how powerful Superboy Prime is, fighting him for 2 seconds is a feat in itself. I'm just saying, especially landing multiple blows, implied to give him some stinging here and there, implied not to be on his level. It's still impressive that he's scuffling with him this long, but yeah, he wasn't ready. He destroyed this barn by slamming this super giant, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're strong enough, you can do the thunderclap, even if you're not necessarily the Hulk. You still can thunderclap like that, just slamming your hands together and stopping them abruptly. Imagine being disguised as Robin and people wondering why you're so durable, yet getting blasted through like buildings and stuff, or through a billboard. He's even better than ever now that he has access to his other Kryptonian physiology and not just focusing on tactical telekinesis as much. Wouldn't you say? Huge chunks of ice, like that big chunks of ice, being slammed on him. And he's fine from it and busts out. Strength, right? As he has slugged it out with Wonder Girl, showing his level of strength. Even characters like Gog, slugfest style. Same with the Eradicator, even going through a ton of ice. Even slugging it with Kingdom Come Superman. Takes a hit from him. I wouldn't necessarily say he's equal to Kingdom Come Superman, though. Kingdom Come Superman is implied to be above even post-crisis or whatever. But yeah, battering shatter on him. Flamethrowers still don't do nothing to him. When the lasso is wrapped around him, of course, the other Wonder Girls, of course, the lasso of lightning, he still was able to endure it at full power, showing how strong he is, or durable. Now that he's got his Kryptonian physiology, he's still shown to be a blur around the fat battlefield. You know what I mean? He has tactical telekinesis, like this time dismantling this chair that was restraining Robin with it. But he doesn't seem like they use it as much. But against this Robo-Dog he did, as you can see, things like this come in handy in battle. Very good counter against cybernetic beings, like even characters like Cyborg, for example. You can see the tactical telekinesis stuff going on right here. Cyborg is not a good matchup against this. But he's still able to send tractors forward with his little aura or blast power, you see. Blast back some clouds or something. Blasted back Kingdom Come Superman a few miles, might I add. Pretty impressive. He collapses part of a building, slams 2 airplanes together, Pete's sake, you know, with Kingdom Come Superman. Superboy's tactical telekinesis is a power Superman was not aware of. He blocked this thrown tanker this one time with his tactical telekinesis. You see the little bubble. Embracing his Kryptonian physiology a lot more. Heating up a room, burning shockwave on this occasion, damages the street with it, building-sized skeleton being, he uses his blast power to shatter that, blows away Kingdom Come Flash, breathes breath on this particular occasion. Never really got on his goggles, but you know, just in general, he has different like X-ray vision goggles, for example. Before he developed his Kryptonian physiology, he had goggles that gave him basically heat vision, masks to breathe in space, but of course he don't need this stuff no more though. He has his Legion ring. Legion of superhero stuff, you know, epic. You know how the tale goes. Superboy does die from Superboy Prime. He ended up getting resurrected, of course, so you already know. He showed some decent willpower, might I add, when he just resurrected him. Back at it again. Like breaking free of the influence of the Red Mercy. These things that be making you see your greatest dreams and crap just breaks free via willpower, mentally. Even resisted the influence of the Black Lantern ring. Again, and carving a message to Wonder Girl in the process. He visited a ton of psychics, strengthened his mind against mind control, or intrusion. All this stuff put together is the reason why he's able to resist so good. Naturally, even though he's resurrected, kryptonite stuff still hurts him though, obviously. Still has X-ray vision though, and all that fun stuff. can still hear real good, like hearing radio waves, for example, and even heartbeats. Strong enough to create large craters in stone. Punching power-wise, does this to the ground. Occasional parasite, obviously. Hey, Superdog. Against Doomsday this one occasion, punching some metal against him for Pete's sake. He has no problems with creating shockwave. Implied to be able to hurt a young Darkseid. That's pretty freaking cool. Does it again against Darkseid and then push him into the boom tube. Of course, with aid, of course. Does this to Singularity, Slugfest, punching, raw power. Showing that he ain't that far away from Superman, he draws blood from Superman himself. The man, the myth, the legend, showing he ain't that far behind in strength if he is at all. He can even take out other Kryptonians, during the Krypton War, the invasion of Kryptonians, just stuff like that. I mean, he drew blood from his own clone for Pete's sake. Slams through large rock monsters, obliterates dozens of rock monsters, destroys part of viewing area from Mount Rushmore. Hey, he flew his metal fist into Doomsday, which I showed already, like this big old metal fist. Rips open a metal wall, rips apart a Brainiac drone, crushes the head of a Brainiac drone. Consistently fighting Superman type threats like Parasite. It's just respect to him. Hey, stayed here just for those that thought I was trolling. The only superpower I have that Superman does it is my tactical telekinesis. I can move things with my mind. When you can fly and punch through steel, it tends to get overlooked, he says, which is why he doesn't use it as much, even though he still has this tactical telekinesis. He's even withstood attacks from Doomsday when, Doomsday's a beast, though. Ain't nothing wrong with slugging it with him. Of course, they had help. Of course, other Superman-type characters are here, though. Even fought Black Lantern Kal-El, pre-Crisis Earth 2 Superman, basically. Like, bro, what? Even endures heat vision from Black Lantern Kal-El. He took a lightning storm, right? That KO'd Static, Kid Flash, Wonder Girl, Beast Boy, and, everybody. But he was able to endure it all, showing his level of power. One could say he could have the durability advantage over Wonder Girl, Yes, he's fine at the bottom of the ocean, durability-wise, and he's fine in space without a suit or supply. Yeah, Kryptonian, baby. That's none of my business making Darkseid look slow dancing around him. He can block large fireballs with his durability. Good thing about him, he can change his clothes at super speed, plow the field faster than Ma Kent can fry an egg. He's that fast. And no, I'm not joking when I say he can run really fast, like racing Bart around the freaking world type fast. That's that. Kryptonian. Speed for you. Tactical telekinesis, still can disassemble droids real good. That's one thing you don't want to fight against him with. Black Lantern Kal-El, you blast him back thanks to his blast power. Black Lantern Wars be crazy. He restrained Parasite and Wheat, for example. Can help stop a giant wave. In this occasion with other super people. He vaporized the demon with his heat vision though. Heat vision Black Lantern Lois's arm off. Freezes a Black Lantern ring. Comes in handy, freeze breath. DC likes this thing called temporary power-ups. You already know what temporary power-ups is when characters get a temporary power boost from some outside source for a little while. In the stories, Superboy became Black Lantern for a little bit. Being a Black Lantern on top of this is too deadly of a combination. I mean, you're already a threat and then a lantern ring-ish thing is on top of you. Especially such an aspect or force like this. Crashing through the fortress in this occasion. Getting in the battle with Wonder Girl, kind of messing her up in this occasion, slamming her through the ground. In this state, he fought Krypto, even took the heat vision from Krypto because Krypto knew something was wrong with him. Still just retaining super speed, like he flies from Metropolis to the Arctic in a very short amount of time. On this panel, I already showed you that. But of course, he didn't keep this. He ended up resisting it, stuff like that. Ended up going back to normal, stuff like that. And then you got the rebirth stuff, the current stuff in comics. It was taking place after he spent years trapped in the gym world and stuff, supposedly increasing in power, trapped in gym world. You know what I'm saying? Still has an incredible superhuman level of strength, punch holes in walls and stuff, but he still seems to have the little fresh little side to him, having like a pretty decent dress game. Destroys like this suit of armor with his power thanks to his strength. He fought the Earth 3 version of himself through the Daily Planet globe, These mountain-sized creatures he be fighting, even in Rebirth. New stuff knocks it over with his raw strength. He even knocked over and KO'd the T-Rex. Of course, that's nothing to a Kryptonian type character. Man, this dude just said, I'm just gonna rip large chunks of stone out of the ground to get you free because I'm strong like that. You gonna try to punch me? I just caught your arm and crushes your metal armor because I'm too strong. Even in recent stuff, he's still racing with Speed Force users like Impulse in this occasion. Yet again, raw speed. Man, let me go back in time real quick before the rebirth stuff. He even has gear for when he was depowered. Even while depowered, he takes out these thanks to his raw skills in close quarters combat. It was 100 aliens he took out in just raw skills, showing he can actually fight. I mean, he still has pain tolerance depowered, like taking his taser arrow, for example. He even dodges missiles while depowered. Blocks an arrow thanks to his shield. He actually had some pretty cool tech, like a gauntlet that contains a Legion flight ring, plus a shield, which I showed you in this video already, that can change its size. So he just had some versatile gear to use if he's just completely depowered in this occasion. They block minigun fire, reflects lasers, blocks explosives. Oh yeah, lasers again blocks it. Reflects the energy blast that destroys some machinery. It embeds itself in robots. It's really hard and durable. Notice how he dodges this guy's a punch and punches him back. shatters a metal collar with this shield, like on some Captain America stuff. This shield he threw, he can stop a door from closing, and he can summon it back at will if he wants to. That's an awesome thing. And this incredible shield can indeed change its size to where it can get real freaking big. Let's talk about when he got his powers again. Okay, there was this time where all the adults were de-aged in this world and aged up all the teen or kid superheroes. So Superboy briefly was full adult. One can say he was kind of in his prime for a little bit. Just look how he looks when he's grown up like this. Rex's metal mech, you know what I mean? His heat vision was a trip. I mean, cutting a building in half and destroying a mech, I'm just saying. In fighting skills, he literally got trained by Guardian to kind of hone his skills, letting him know that you can use your power and skills to make himself even a better threat, dodging his attacks and giving him a lesson in combat here. Guardian is teaching him how to further himself. He's gotten training by Cadmus as well. A lot of different avenues on why he got skills. Chilling with Guardian too much. He even said, "You asked me to train you hand to hand in case you found yourself powerless again." Yep. He's got full-on training with staffs and stuff as well. Even in the future when he was chilling with the Legion of Superheroes, he spent time training with great fighters like Karate Kid himself, one of the best fighters in DC, period. So there's a reason why Superboy can fight so good. A lot of different fighting experiences and training from other great fighters in the universe and all of that sort. That's right, extended training session. He hangs out and trains with characters like the Teen Titans and stuff. So that's another way or form of training under his belt in that way, right? It's a beast group to hang with, you know. He even got in a slugfest with Servant of Darkness Orion, which is basically Orion but crazier. The original Orion is not as savage. Stalemating him in the slugfest style type thing is something that has to be respected though. Here's more lore for it. The Servants of Darkness here, like you can read all this if you want to and pause the video. This is what I'm talking about, Servants of Darkness Orion. They even talk about the different Servants of Darknesses, even freaking Orion himself. They even state the clone of Darkseid's son had all the powers of the original, which included warrior skills and the ability to wield bursts of energy called Astro Blast. And Superboy stalemated this, showing his standing that he ain't that far behind the Superman tiers. He's near them Superman tiers, so he should be able to punch with force way more than black holes. Don't forget in the recent stuff, Superman characters can hold heavens or universe-sized structures, evidently. He's one of the higher-end Kryptonians, I would say, and the higher-end Kryptonians like Superman can like withstand 50 times supernova explosions, like holes in his hands, stuff like that. He has to be in that range because he's literally a clone of this with all the same physiology on top of having technical telekinesis. In the New 52 era, Superboy is a clone of John Kent, created by Nowhere, aka, this is how you spell it on screen, you know, a clone of John Kent. It was an organization that threatens the lives of teen heroes and such. They have a whole bunch of plans. In the beginning, he was prompted to help this organization known as Nowhere hunt down metahumans and conduct missions for them. But after fighting with the Teen Titans, he decided to rebel against his nature as a living weapon and fight against the corrupt organization with the Titans. I don't know why these people be making these clones of these superheroes and they think they're gonna be okay with their evilness. I mean, some of their DNA is in these clones still though, so some of them gotta know that stuff ain't right. Just like his post-crisis self, Superboy has potent telekinetic and telepathic ability. Well, telepathic is actually kind of new, which he uses to great effect in battle. Tactical telekinesis, like I already mentioned before, which he uses to manipulate objects that he's touching and simulate enhanced durability and strength, as well as manifesting it in the shape of powerful energy blast and heat vision, aka Almighty Push. Like literally some Pain Almighty Push stuff. With his tactical telekinesis, he literally throws Argo City in the air and then pushes it out of orbit with this power. He's gotten in battle feats with the Eradicator using his tactical telekinesis to spear him, tears apart this giant earth monster in battle feats, crashes cop car because of his Almighty Push. Tactical telekinesis is good for cybernetic stuff, like freeing people from armor and stuff, like touching them here, freeing Cassie from this armor. As such, thanks a lot. He caught a thrown girder at himself, these heavy things. Of course, he's gotten in battle feats with Supergirl. He should be comparable to Supergirl, being able to hurt Supergirl, catching her and matching her speed and etc. He can even blast her back with blast power, epic. Punts trucks, dumps trucks in water. Battlefield with Wonder Girl knocking her down, blast back. Destroying trucks is light work to him. He can hurl apartments at foe, can annihilate a prison because of tactical telekinesis, and he ended up in the core of the earth. He literally stated he can lift a battleship if he felt like it. Like, of course. He even helped Supergirl destroy a large portion of the Crucible, this extra large ring, because they're that strong. I love when he casually disarms soldiers, traps them in the midair, deassembles their gear. He can pull psionic energy out of folks' body. In this occasion with the Titans, he manipulated the road to hit them. Superboy is able to counter beings like Speed Force users because of his tactical telekinesis, thanks to his versatility, being able to counter him with the big old bubble shield as such, with his technical, and sending them off like that. He triggered a synaptics in his suit to electrocute Robin. He can almighty push a helicopter away, take out a group of goons at once. Security stuff is just not good when it comes to technology stuff. He can just disable protocols with his telekinesis and disable cameras and vaults. Locks ain't gonna cut it. He reduces this being to his basic component, can remove alcohol from his body. He does some Matrix stuff and stops bullets mid-flight because he can. He interrupted the blood flow to somebody's brain. Carries the Titans in stone so he can carry him like this. Set a giant Christmas tree on fire. He's one of the few people that can disrupt the force field Kon-El put around the fortress because he also has telekinesis. Having Superboy a part of the group is very beneficial. It's tactical telekinesis, and I quote, "In another dimension, use my tactical telekinesis to pierce the chaos and make sense of the static," showing his telepathic ability as well, showing he has big awareness of the environment, doing all this damage. See what I mean? The way he has heat vision, destroying guns, melts bullets, starts a fire with heat vision, stuff like that. You get it. And they're on a date. Starting to remind me of Invisible Woman with these force fields blocking fire in this occasion. Another occasion of him blocking attacks, blocking plasmas. He even protects others, like protecting Kara, for example, from the Eradicator's attacks. He's still super strong without even spamming his tactical telekinesis. Like when it comes to battle feats, for example, slamming plasmas, scuffle with Supergirl, knocks down this giant robot, spars with Fairchild, battlefield with Wonder Girl, kicking Wonder Girl through a building, taking attacks from Wonder Girl, durability, strength all in one, and even gotten a slugfest with King Shark, even punched Trigon, a very powerful abstract tier being, along with other characters. Slugfest with John, throws John into the core of the moon and etc. And fighting there in an epic battle feat, a battle of the two Superboys. Well, that's technically the guy that he's cloned from. So you can kind of get an idea of how strong he is that way. Probably one of his best feats of all time, battle feat wise. He was actually able to knock out Martian Manhunter, who's a Superman being. This guy is ridiculously strong. Punches Guardian, sending him. Punching Guardian's shield makes a shockwave, like an explosion basically. Another occasion with Cassie, battle feat, taking her underwater and stuff, throwing her out. He saves people like stopping trains from hitting someone, holds open a T-Rex's jaw, tears a big chunk of stone out of the ground, and yes, he can bench press over 3 tons. This is definitely an oversimplification. Don't get me wrong, there has been times where Martian Manhunter has overpowered him to the ground though. But he was still able to take these attacks though. But yeah, Martian Manhunter is a beast though. Plenty of occasions fighting Supergirl, just chilling in lava, or the molten core of the earth. He eats characters like Thunder's attacks. Heck, he even pushes through Thunder's sonic waves. See what I mean? Takes an energy blast designed to destroy heavy armored vehicles, armored assault vehicles, might I add. And when it comes to raw speed, of course, he can go over Mach 1 and Mach 2. They were testing the speed here. Pretty impressive. Don't let that Mach 2 crap fool you. He even stated he can go Mach 5 or 6. He has cool senses, like the fact he can scan buildings for folk. He sensed this girl's heart beating, speeding up. Thanks to his tactical telekinesis, anything he touches, he senses. He states here, my mind is spread out through my body, so anything I touch, I can read. He can even sense if he's in like a virtual reality. When you're a superpowered level, at a certain level, you gotta have some form of healing factor so that he can heal from broken bones in hours. Doesn't need to eat or sleep. When you're a telekinetic or psionic being, you tend to have a pretty high level of intelligence, probably due to the fact that you can like soak up intelligence faster than other things, or soak up information or data just faster in general. When you think about it, that does kind of make some sense. Even he's unsure on how he knows certain things. As far as his standard gear goes, his containment suit can literally repair itself. Coming into contact with Supergirl, for example, he can kind of just instantly see Krypton explode. It also allows him to be able to speak Kryptonian. Demons that look into his soul even go messed up in the mind. It's over. He's opened his mind, his soul very to no, she's going nuts. And when it comes to his battle armor, it seems the battle armor is somehow concentrating, condensing your telekinesis. It's increasing your physical abilities while cutting into your senses. It's like sacrificing tactical telekinesis or senses just for the extra strength output. Makes sense. He can see things that are normally invisible. He got it like that. The tactical telekinesis is forever amplifying other equipment, like amplifying Wonder Girl's lasso, for example. The Superboy and Cassie relationship getting spicy. Get back, Trigon's brothers. Tactical telekinesis. Part of me wants to say that him being able to do this to Martian Manhunter is bad writing, but I mean, he is a Kryptonian tier being at the same time. Part of it could have been Martian Manhunter caught off guard, maybe. Who knows? He's fighting other Superman tier legacy characters like Wonder Girl, so I feel you have no choice but to respect his power. Like characters like Wonder Woman's the main one, then Wonder Girl is the one below her, and then, you know, Superman is the main one, and then Superboy is the one below, like legacy type characters. Legacy type characters usually aren't too far behind the main characters when it comes to raw power. They're close enough to do some damage. no matter how you look at it, right? He's still a higher-end Kryptonian no matter which era, fighting the Legion with the other foe, fighting the Legion and the Ravagers, you know. Don't you love this many adventures? Like fighting creatures. I find it interesting that comics always find a way to have the legacy people fight their mirror images, like fighting the guy he was initially cloned from. Superboys from all the different realities was unleashed this one time, and he's fought them as well. And yes, Superboy did participate in the gigantic multiversal crisis on Infinite Earths level event known as Death Battle, you know, because like literally everybody did. Got in a slugfest with this being known as Match, his clone basically. It even state which one is the real Superboy here. Matching power with him, slugfest style, and headbutt, building crush, uppercut, kick. Yeah, just epic. You got to respect that, you know, causing major collateral, as you can see. Match is basically an imperfect clone of Superboy that's on the Suicide Squad because she knew that he would never join. You remember Ultraman, basically Superman of another universe, like, and can match the main Superman? Yes, Ultraman with the U on his chest. This imperfect clone of Superboy literally fought Ultraman, basically a Superman tier being, basically to prove while Superboy isn't in some Superman ranges, despite him being a legacy character. It's an extended fight. He had to drop on him because he hesitated because he doesn't kill, which is impressive because I already showed you what the real Superboy did to this Superboy. Crazy, right? Putting in that work. That same Superboy that fought Ultraman fought the real Superboy, and Superboy was still able to show why he's the real Superboy. Fresh outfit. And even defeats the same being that was giving Ultraman major issues. It's not really much else I need to say other than to remind you that DC characters incorporate Greek lore in their universe because Wonder Woman's a Greek, you know, so they're heavily invested in Greek lore. Superman once relieved Atlas of his duty of holding up all of reality, literally holding up different comic panels. Only reason I do not think this is an outlier is because this is kind of like similar to Greek lore. DC's writer intent is to incorporate Greek lore into this, and their writer intent is to have Superman characters have the kind of strength to be able to hold up weight like this. That's pretty freaking consistent. And it's nothing new when it comes to Greek lore type feats. And they're incorporating it in DC, same with other mythologies in DC. Imperfect Superboy clone matching beings such as Ultraman is a big deal, considering that the real Superboy actually beat this imperfect clone that gave Ultraman a run for the money, who is basically an equivalent to a Superman tier being. It's just too much evidence of it. But what do you guys think? I personally think DC's out of control with all these clones of Superboy. John Kent, do you got Superboy? Do you got a clone of the Superboy? Like, it's just like, good Lord, it's a cluster F. But what do you guys think? Put your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Respect Superboy.